If you've ever stood in the baking aisle holding 2 bags of sugar, one white, one brown, and wondered, aren't these basically the same thing? You're not alone. They look similar, they taste sweet, and they're often used in the same recipes. But peek behind the packaging, and you'll discover that they have some surprisingly different stories to tell. Differences in taste, texture, production, and even how they behave in cooking. Today, we're going to break down exactly what sets white sugar and brown sugar apart, and why you might reach for one instead of the other in your kitchen. Right here, on History of Simple Things. Both white sugar and brown sugar start life in the same place, sugarcane or sugar beet plants. These tall green stalks or root crops are packed with sweet juice that's extracted, purified, and crystallized. In its earliest raw form, sugar naturally contains molasses, a thick, dark syrup that gives it a rich flavor and brownish color. The journey from that raw crystal to the sugar in your pantry depends on how much of that molasses is removed, or in some cases, added back in later. White sugar goes through a more thorough refining process. After extraction, it's filtered, boiled, and spun in a centrifuge to remove almost all of the molasses. This leaves you with those bright, sparkling crystals we all recognize. Brown sugar, on the other hand, either retains some of its natural molasses from the initial processing or is made by adding molasses back into fully refined white sugar. That small difference in processing changes everything about its color, moisture level, and taste. White sugar is straightforward. It's pure sweetness, clean and neutral. It doesn't bring much else to the flavor party, which is why it's so versatile. You can add it to coffee, sprinkle it over cereal, or use it in baking without it competing with other flavors. Brown sugar, however, has more personality. Thanks to the molasses, it has a deeper, more complex flavor. Notes of caramel, toffee, and even a hint of smokiness, depending on the variety. That's why brown sugar is often the go-to for recipes that need a richer, warmer sweetness, like gingerbread cookies, barbecue sauces, or sticky glazes. In other words, white sugar sweetens, but brown sugar sweetens and adds depth. Another noticeable difference lies in their texture. White sugar is dry, with individual crystals that flow freely. Brown sugar is softer and clumps easily because molasses is naturally sticky. This moisture makes brown sugar perfect for giving baked goods a chewy texture. Think soft chocolate chip cookies that bend instead of snap. In contrast, white sugar tends to produce crisper or lighter textured results, like airy meringues or crisp sugar cookies. The extra moisture in brown sugar also means it can impact how recipes bake. For instance, in breads or cakes, brown sugar can hold on to moisture longer, helping to keep them softer for more time. That's why some bakers swap in a bit of brown sugar to extend the freshness of their treats. Here's where things get a little tricky. Many people assume that brown sugar is healthier because it's less processed and contains molasses, which has trace minerals like calcium, potassium, iron, and magnesium. While it's true that brown sugar has slightly more nutrients than white sugar, the amounts are so small that they don't make a meaningful difference to your diet. You'd have to eat impractical amounts of brown sugar to get any real benefit, something your dentist and doctor definitely wouldn't recommend. At the end of the day, both are still sugar, and your body processes them in almost exactly the same way. Brown sugar isn't just one thing. It comes in different shades. Light brown sugar has a smaller amount of molasses, giving it a milder flavor and lighter color. Dark brown sugar contains more molasses, making it richer, stickier, and more robust in taste. Bakers often choose light brown sugar for recipes where a hint of caramel flavor is enough, while dark brown sugar is the star in recipes that can handle a stronger molasses kick, like baked beans or gingerbread. Here's one more difference that's worth knowing, especially if you bake only occasionally. White sugar is practically immortal if stored in a cool, dry place. It doesn't spoil or go bad. Brown sugar, however, tends to dry out and harden over time because its moisture evaporates. That's why you sometimes find it in your cupboard as a solid brick. Luckily, this is fixable. Placing a slice of bread or a damp paper towel in a sealed container with hardened brown sugar can soften it back up as the moisture transfers. In most grocery stores, white sugar is cheaper and available in larger package options. Brown sugar, while still affordable, can cost slightly more per kilogram, partly because of the extra step of molasses retention or reintroduction. In some countries, brown sugar is considered a specialty ingredient, while in others, it's just as common as white sugar. So, which one should you use? The answer really depends on what you're making. If you want a clean sweetness without altering color or flavor, like in lemonade, frostings, or angel food cake, white sugar is the safest choice. If you're after richness, chewiness, or a warm caramel note, brown sugar is the way to go. Some recipes even use both, balancing sweetness with depth. And of course, if you're just sweetening your morning coffee or tea, it comes down to personal taste. Some people love the molasses undertone, others prefer the clean sweetness. So, white sugar and brown sugar may share the same roots, but they're not identical twins. They're more like siblings with different personalities. White sugar is the clean-cut, no-nonsense one, neutral, precise, and endlessly adaptable. Brown sugar is the warmer, richer sibling, slightly sticky, full of flavor, and a little more high maintenance when it comes to storage. Whichever you choose, they both have their place in the kitchen, and knowing when to use each can take your cooking and baking from good to great. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.